Hello and what is up, Herd Nation? Welcome back to another discussion video. Today we're going to be discussing Sony and their recent announcements, the PS4 Slim and the PS4 Pro. We aren't just going to be giving a few tips like the last video. I'd like to go into more detail to explain myself this time. We're going to first talk about why this is a bad idea, and then we'll talk about how it could have been fixed. So let's get started. Firstly, I would like to say if Sony's going to be releasing the PS4 Pro, then I would skip out on the PS4 Slim completely, because all it's going to do is confuse people. We all have to bear in mind that a large percentage of console sales are from people who aren't just buying it for themselves. That means parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, and the list goes on. If there are going to be now 3 different PlayStations in the near future, people who aren't gaming enthusiasts are going to have to figure out which one to buy. And frankly, if any of you have ever worked in customer service, you know that people can be fucking stupid. Sony, if there is ever a point when your customers have to ask, which one do I have to get the good graphics? Then you done messed up. The reason why I know this is because I've been there multiple times. For example, when I was a kid, I asked my goddad for Luigi's Mansion for my birthday. You wanna know what he got me? Fucking Spider-Man! Like, what? Why? This is the reason why the Wii U failed so hard. People just thought it was a peripheral to the original. It's simply bad communication. If you want people to buy your product, you have to communicate to them 3 things. 1, why should they upgrade? 2, what makes it worth the price? And 3, what games can I play on it? That last question brings me to my next point. They should have shown a brand new game that completely utilized the new hardware. Showing off the same games that you've already shown in a higher resolution and frame rate is mediocre, especially since that bitch is $400. That means if you bought a PS4 when it first came out and then the Pro, you spent $800. If that's the case, then you should just save up to build a gaming PC. If you really want 60 FPS bad enough to spend another $400, then you'd save more money getting a PC. Now, I'm not a PC elitist, but let's be honest here. The average person's income isn't going to be able to drop dough like that repeatedly. That's a huge investment. So if the only thing you're offering is better graphics with the same games, then what's the point? You should have just called it the PS5 and made new games for it entirely, because the expenses far outweigh the benefits. Not to mention, your competition is $100 cheaper. Not to justify Microsoft either. I don't think this entire console upgrade is a good idea at all. Generally, I think these new consoles are just a half-assed generation. I'm completely fine with Sony releasing a new console now, but not if it's just going to be the same thing with slightly better graphics. It just feels empty. Plus, it's going to put a bad taste in people's mouths if they go out and buy the PS4 Pro, and then in the next 2 to 3 years the PS5 comes out for another $400. Not only that, but what about the people who don't have 4K televisions yet? You're going to have to get a TV and the console. That's ridiculous. In the last video, I said that 4K is going to be the main thing that we all have, and HD is getting old, and that is true. But one of the biggest reasons why people haven't upgraded to 4K yet is because there simply isn't enough things being offered in that resolution to justify the purchase. Now, some of you may now say, since the PS4 is coming and going to be in 4K, then that's another thing to justify buying a TV. But it's not, because you're getting the same games, the same experiences, and everything else, but slightly prettier. We all know that people complain like crazy this generation about all the remasters. But look at what we're about to get. They should call this the Remaster Pro, because that's all it is. But now I'm done complaining. Let's talk about what could have been done to prevent this. The number one greatest thing that could have been done is wait for about 2 or more years and released the PlayStation 5. They should have also delayed the PlayStation VR until the PS5 and released the headset with the console in a bundle. That way, all of the games would have been running at a great resolution, have excellent frame rate, and the install base for the headset would have been huge. Then developers would have been much more interested in developing for VR because they would have had much more confidence in their investment. Right now, in the gaming industry, we are in an era where companies are announcing things too early. For example, the PlayStation Vita would have done much better if it were paired with the PS4 instead of the PS3. The ability to play your PS4 games along with having its own library would have made the Vita unstoppable. But they released it too early and there wasn't much incentive to buy it. There were simply no games on it. Just waiting a little bit longer would have made a huge difference. And that is the biggest struggle that we're facing. Patience. You want another example of this? Look at pre-order culture. It's sad when it has its own name. Developers want to get money out of you so fast that they try to milk you before the damn thing comes out. You don't even know if the game is going to be good, but they're trying to sell you on a collector's edition months before the game is even finished. And then guess what happens? The game gets delayed. Either that, or you get bitch slapped by the Ubisoft downgrade at the last minute. Or, even worse, you get the game on time, but then you get like a 10 gigabyte patch on the first day and it's broken. This just shows that there's too much greed and impatience in our industry, and it needs to stop. What do you guys think? Whether you agree or disagree, please leave a comment. We need to have a discussion. But please stay respectful to everyone else's opinions because I'm respectful to yours. Share this video to spread the discussion, and if you haven't already, join the conversation on Google+. And until next time, peace out, Herd Nation. Herd hype!